يس.
أتوقع عشان كذا الأسامي متتالية.
اي الاسامي متكرره عندي هنا.
راح نبتدي الحين ولا بنستنى 5 دقائق؟
اعطينا بس دقائق عشان ننتظر بس لجنه التحكيم تكتمل عندنا.
طيب تمام، شكرا.
عندنا الدكتور ايمن. دكتور ايمن، كيف حالك؟ حياك الله. يبغى يحطوا.
هلا وسهلا، حياك الله.
طيب اول ميك يو از كو هوست. الدكتور ماجد كو هوست. طيب مين عندنا كمان؟ باقي الدكتور ابراهيم، الدكتور ليث، المهندس محمد، الدكتور عبد العزيز برضه. الدكتور عبد العزيز تو داخل معنا. دكتور عبد العزيز كيف حالك؟
الحمد لله، انت ايش اخباركم؟
خير، حياك الله يا دكتور.
هلا والله.
طيب في انتظار الدكتور ابراهيم. لسه باقي.
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام، حياك الله دكتور ابراهيم.
ابتديتوا ولا لسه؟
لا في انتظاركم.
اوكي.
دكتور ليث، مهندس محمد.
طيب who's which this is number 12, submittal number 12.
Yes, we are number 12.
Yes, we are number 12.
Okay. العلا rock projection, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام.
عليكم السلام.
عفوا أنا شكلي I forget على الميوت هذا، فأكيد ما سمعتوا شيء.
No.
توني برسل لك we see your lips moving بس we can't.
طيب على العموم ما في جديد، أنا بس أحب أحيي لجنة التحكيم معنا
السلام عليكم.
اليوم.
سلام.
الدكتور إبراهيم السعودي أستاذ في إدارة التشغيل من جامعة الفيصل، الدكتور أيمن تويم أستاذ مساعد في هندسة وإدارة المشاريع من جامعة الملك سعود، الدكتور ليث الحديدي رئيس قسم هندسة التشييد والبروجكت مانجمنت من جامعة البترول، الدكتور عبد العزيز المكتوم أستاذ مساعد في قسم إدارة سلاسل الإمداد من جامعة عفت، والدكتور ماجد الحارثي أستاذ مساعد في كلية الاتصال والإعلام من جامعة الملك عبد العزيز، وأخيرا مهندس محمد حماد نائب الرئيس لشؤون العمليات في شركة جاكوب زيت والمدير التنفيذي للتسويق في معهد إدارة المشاريع فرع السعودية.
ممتاز. طيب ممكن نبتدي مع
نبتدي؟
لو سمحتي. Yes please.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and good evening everyone. My name is Lujain Jan, and alongside my team members Hanan, Jude and Yasmin from Affat University's College of Business, we will be discussing the art and culture through rock production at Al-Ula. So firstly, I'll take you through the outline and objective of this project. We'll discuss the introduction about the project, the major requirements, the strategic plan, the stages, including selecting, initiating and planning. So first, I'll identify the project profile. So basically, our project looks at enhancing the artistic notions at Al-Ula through using rock projection techniques, which is a newly introduced concept, in delivering a story through a labyrinth of thoughts. So the mission is to bring the cultural enlightenment, and the vision is to put in the best effort and making this a service, an elite and entertaining one, representing the good culture behind this place as well. And the goals is to allow more experience of education and historical culture, to allow more employability issues, to improve profitability and growth of the organization, to showcase the culture and engage young minds in a new innovative concept. So my colleague Yasmin will take over from here.
Okay, so I'm going to start talking about the history of tourism at Al-Ula. Al-Ula is Saudi Arabia's first UNESCO World Heritage, which is a site that shows preserved site of the Nabatean civilization. The Royal Commission of Al-Ula, which was formed in 2017, is responsible for the development and promoting the heritage to international tourism. Okay, so I'm going to talk about the digital production background. Project mapping on the rocks of Al-Ula will create the illusion of 3D art and not just flat projection. The videos will turn the rock into screens and enhance the architecture, which is going to make it look breathtaking. We kind of chose this as like not just to pick one rock and project on it. No, it's basically, as Lujain mentioned, a labyrinth, which will not only entertain our tourists, but also educate them on the rich heritage of our beloved Saudi Arabia. And basically, it's something new. And from our calculations, it is estimated that the use of about 84 projectors can easily cover the massive area of 32,000 square meters. Next. Okay, the work to be performed. The timeline of the project is estimated to take approximately like 1 to 2 years. The work breakdown structure among the project team leaders will make it more manageable when it wouldn't create any mistakes. And the 3D mapping animation will be designed to collaborate with Big Gigantic and their lighting director, as well as Ghost Pixels. It will deliver more than 100 unique visuals engulfing the monolith rock walls, and hopefully we would collaborate with local artists. And according to the table, it's like the operation's going to take the most time because it's in the middle of the desert and we don't have it's limited network and things. Budget allocation, it will approximately take like 2,500,000, mostly equipment because it's imported and we're gonna need special people who can install it and integrate it with the project, and 10% in project planning and maintenance and management, Installation and integration it's going to take 14%, content development 3.6, and maintenance going to take 2.4.
So moving on, we will discuss the SWOT analysis. So when looking at strengths and analyzing them, we need to consider that this is a niche concept. It is not created here at least, and it will also engrave a positive attitude towards the experiences you are paying for this package. And also we're using advanced system technologies that would target a much bigger audience and a family atmosphere of invitation. So it's not limited towards one gender or one age. In terms of weaknesses, it is an expensive trip overall. And even if you do visit the site, it does make you want to pay for the remaining packages. So it is an expensive overall package. And another weakness is that employees need proper training to handle this expensive equipment. As for opportunities, it is a seasonal attraction and does attract a lot of people. We wanted to make an educational historical concept of a service. Also, we want it to be a vacation hotspot for some people. As for threats, we need to consider that we are in a COVID pandemic right now and travel restrictions are placed. And even when they do open, people will be vitally cautious to interact in such activities. So we are taking cost and loss into consideration. Moving on. This is the financial projection. This is the brief part of it. We are most likely thinking that operational cost would be around 225,000 a month, but the visitor fee would be 100 riyals because of the expensiveness of investing in such project. And we are expecting a growth rate of 45%. However, we do expect plateau. So we are expecting that the number of visitors will increase by time and then will plateau back. So this is just an estimation. Looking at financial analysis, we have found that a positive NPV and having a high cash flow in return for the costs you're giving, and the payback period would be around 2.5 years. And you can see all the data over here. Now my colleague Hanan will talk over.
Okay, hello everyone. I'll be talking about the methodology that we'll be using for the project. We were thinking that we want to implement both Agile methodology and the Six Sigma methodology, because we think for one, Agile methodology is a great way to just focus on the needs of the customers and the needs of the sponsor, and for the Six Sigma, it reduces any waste or any things that we don't need. And so mixing them together, I think it would make a very productive project, because the Agile would point out anything wrong, and then the Six Sigma would reduce the wastes. As for the potential stakeholders, we registered the positions that we need, and then we made up some names until we find the actual positions. So we made up a potential stakeholders register, and later on we will be analyzing it after we start the project and we start executing. As for the project charter, we did the approaches, success criteria, and objectives. For the approach, first we want to scope out an area that we can find to build our project like around. Like, we want a good location where we can find good rocks to project on. We want to research the equipment needed, of course, and their prices, their cost, the local artists that we will be projecting their work. We want to hire the needed employees. We set the agenda. We start building around the rocks, the facility that we need, and training the employees. We need to communicate the plan with everyone, and of course incorporate our methodologies. And as for success criteria, we want to have at least 500,000 visitors a year to consider that we have truly succeeded. And for the employment area, we want to at least increase it by 15%. And of course, we want to see that we've enhanced the culture experience and completed in time. That would be also success criteria, and that we have about 8 out of 10 rating, and that we've met all the requirements needed. And for the objectives, we want to, as Lujain have mentioned before, we want to develop a facility that shows history and art. We want to mix culture, and we want an education and entertainment, and we want a place that local artists can come to showcase their work and give them opportunities and jobs. Moving on to the assumptions log. Some of the assumptions we have is that first, that we will be needing to find the area first. And so that's what we would schedule first. And then also that employees will have to work overtime just to at least finish in the time, which is 1 to 2 years. And we need to, and the resources and the equipments will be most cost. That's another assumption that we have. And so we need to allocate the budget accordingly and try to cut any cost extra. Another thing is that the employees will need proper training. So the action is that we need to acquire them early. And lastly is that resources would need to be available throughout the whole project and the whole time. So we need to check the availability the whole time. That would be our action. And now Jude will present the scope statement.
Hello, everyone. So about the scope statement, it is important to notice the requirements and criteria in order to complete with the plan and start with the plan. So for the requirements, it is important to have a visualizing software for designing the graphics and to have developer dealing with the needed with the needs of the programmers and softwares, and to have an open area or like a building facility as a LibreNet in order to showcase the projection, and to have a proper insurance. And as for the criteria, the managers, it should be accepted. The software product should be accepted by the managers and sponsors, and to ensure that the stakeholders are satisfied, and to have checking during the development stage to avoid any mistakes that would happen in the future, and to make sure that the culture experience is met. And as for the deliverables, we did the charter, the scope statement, the work breakdown, structure, and schedule. And for other related deliverables, there will be research reporters, software code, and team contracts, and so on.
Jude, 4 minutes left بس عشان نترك المجال للمتسابقين الآخرين
Of course, okay. So this is the breakdown structure. We have the service design, the development environment, and the constraints. And in the next slide, there will be a sample of the work breakdown structure. So for the first sample, the design, we have to provide the design for the graphics in order to associate with the computers, softwares, and devices in order to showcase, and to have an interfaces to describe how those roles and protocols should be viewed and implemented. And the constraints are important to know the limitations of the project, such as the resources, the staff, the budget, and facilities. These are all important, and also the contracts. Moving on. The schedule plan, so as we said, that approximately the project would take us for 1 to 2 years, and the operation part will have the most time needed in order to execute the plan. And now my colleague Hanan will continue.
Okay, this is the last thing in the risk register. First, some of the risks we anticipated is that the sponsor would disapprove of the project because the project doesn't meet their expectations or their budget expectations. And so our potential response is that we will try to change and improve anything that they point out. Also that the cost might be too high. As we said, the equipments are imported and will need special care. So we will be trying to cut deals and consult with experts as to how we can get the costs lower. there could be defects in the equipment because there are a sensitive nature, and getting the equipment insured will be our response. As for the safety, we might have some due to the place, because we can't control nature and electricity that much, so there might be safety hazards, and so we need to continually check for security and the quality. And lastly, the project might not finish in time, which is always a risk, a potential risk. So we will need to do a critical path analysis, and we will need to focus on the activities that are critical and non-SLAC.
Lastly, this is the conclusion. So we hope we explained the project breakdown quite nicely. We hope to transform this site into something we could utilize and grow and prosper to our nation's history. This would give very good reflection about the youth and their talent, and would provide good leisure entertainment alternatives. We wanted to showcase art and culture and through rock projection, and we hope we told our story properly. Through this project plan, we hope we built the backbone for our building base in terms of the project execution stage. Thank you.
Thank you for listening. Any questions?
Okay. Thank you, Team 12, for the excellent presentation. Thank you, Effort University. Now we will give the chance for the award committees to, if they have any questions or comments to the participants.
If my colleagues would like to ask, or I have some.
Please, Dr. Ibrahim, go ahead.
Go ahead, Ibrahim, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Team 12. Well done, good presentation. I think you're one of the teams that actually focused on a very particular subject. And this is the strength, in my view, of your proposal, that you picked a subject that can be done with a focus. It wasn't too generic. You had a particular motive to do the projection on the rock. And that was a definite aim. And this is the hard project management, is to focus on a specific task or a number of tasks and deliver them on time, on budget, on quality. And you picked the right choice. I congratulate you for that. Now, justification for the project is, when you said 32,000 square meter of display area, was that benchmarked to any other similar projection in any place which matches our environment, our climate, and our Al-Ula region? One question. The second question, sometimes you talk 52 weeks and then you talk 2 years. So can you please confirm? And in, I think, page 12, you mentioned 4 years for the ROI, return on investment. How did you come to that? Thank you.
Thank you so much for your questions. We'll start about the landscape, the measurement, the square meter. We just took estimations and asked a lot of professionals in this field, and we took an example, but it is not an implemented example here. As we said, it's a very new concept, so we have to consider the nature of the place and the distance from where cities are. So it is not the same as our project, but it is very similar in terms of landscape measurements, but not conditions. As for the NPV, my colleague Hanan will take from here.
But then please, Hanan, put this in your risk. When you on your grid, your risk grid, please mention that. It would have been nice to link that we have this as a pioneering. It's one of its kind. It's an original idea, but there are some risks involved, and we will do more research and IT, because you mentioned here on the agile methodology, this will be focused at the project, whereas the Six Sigma will be on the human side. So you seem to have planned your methodology well, but this is a very risky item, and risk management is part of PM management, as you know.
Yes, of course. Okay, thank you. Your question was about the year, the payback year, sorry, or what?
Yeah, you said 4 years on when we read your proposal. You said we expect to have return on investment within 4 years.
I think that would be our pessimistic, like 4 years, if not everything was going well. So we thought maybe 4 years, but if this is our about most likely to optimistic is that we will have it back in 2.5 years. Yeah, if we got the profits that we want or we're expecting.
Yes, this is a very much situational factor, as in the whole construction of this project is very wide. It has a very wide perspective. It could be done in a small time frame, but we need to consider things like COVID. It closed business, and half of our equipment isn't provided here nationally. So we do have a worst case scenario. What we think, if given the right time frame, we could finish it in the optimal time mentioned.
It's not really, we're not really judging whether you are a financial expert or economist, no, but the process that you have consulted, you've reached, you've done the homework of actually exploring the potential, you talked to financial, so you were after the information to get legible and sound information that you could use. This is what we were really looking, how you obtain this, the process of getting the information. That's all for me, Mr. Saeed. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ibrahim, for your excellent comments. Unfortunately, that we are running out of time, so I have to stop it here. Thank you, Team 12, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Good luck. Good luck.
Thank you.
Right. Next, Team 16, الأخت داليا الشيخ. Anyone from Team 16, please raise your hand so I can promote you as a panelist. طيب أتوقع أن هذا they didn't show up, Team 16. So we will go to the next scheduled team, which is Team 17. Anyone from Team 17, please raise your hand. دجانة، الأخت دجانة، إذا كنت أنطق الاسم بشكل صحيح، الأخت دجانة.
Industry 4 should be the topic. Yes,
Yeah, both 16 and 17, they choose the same subject. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right, they didn't show up, so we'll go to the next team. Let me just hit
23.
Right, 23, Team 23. الأخت رولا. Okay, let me promote you as a panelist. الأخت رولا تسمعينا؟ الأخت رولا, you can speak now and you share your screen.
Can you see my screen?
No,
Not yet.
I believe now you can see it.
Yeah, now it's clear. Let me just set the ground rule here. You will have 15 minutes for your presentation. بعدها سيعطى المجال للجنة التحكيم لإبداء ملاحظاتهم وأسئلتهم. بداية يا أخت رولا عرفي عن نفسك والموضوع الذي تم اختياره.
Okay. Thank you. أول شيء good morning, good afternoon. My name is Ruda Shukri, and I'm an entrepreneurship student from Effort University, and I'm working on this project alone. My project is the Solar Urban Farm Cafe in Al Ula. This is an overview of the content of this presentation. So we'll talk about the introduction of the topic, the current situation, the opportunity and the problem statement, and our solution or the project, the business goal and the objective of this project, the scope goals, the scope statement, the work breakdown structure, the stakeholder analysis and the schedule, management plan, the cost and the risk, and lastly, the conclusion. So the introduction, so with a vision of 2030 that aim to transform the kingdom into an attractive and modern places to work, live, and play. So also the vision of Al-Ula that mainly focus on to opening the tourism and also to be a global heritage destination. So the current situation, as I mentioned previous, Al-Ula has become a high demand tourism destination the recent year. Also with the government makes it easier for the with the e-visa tourist. There's also many of international and local restaurants near Al-Ula, which makes it more challenging makes it challenging in such projects because they are targeting the tourists. The current situation, the opportunity here, we found that Al-Ula city is located between two large hills on a fertile valley of soil, in which palms and citrus and fruit are growing. Groundwater is also available at close distance despite the great scarcity of the rain. Also, we found that Al-Ula have 14 of spring available. So our solution, we wanted to build an eco-sustainable, friendly solar urban farm cafe. What is this project is basically, this will give a fairy tale experience for the visitor while they are eating, viewing the farm and the beautiful Al-Ula Open Museum. The second thing, this cafe will provide an organic food from its own farm and also the famous vegetables and fruit of Al-Ula. Also, the learning, the visitor will have an experience to learn from the local farmers about the farm, about the urban farming. They can have like an experience. So the business goal and the objectives, the business goal, to introduce a new concept of a safe, eco-friendly, sustainable urban farm cafe to the resident tourists to enjoy a novel experience. In order to achieve these goals, we are using a technology and innovation in production, sustainable supply of a fresh, organic, nutrition food, access to the local grown food without pesticide. The second goal is to create a cultural awareness on urban farming and kitchen gardening. In order we can achieve this by providing education and training and using a new technology in farming, tourist destination for experience and training in urban farm. The importance of the healthy food for the healthier life aligned with the 2030 Vision Quality Life Program. So the scope goal, we need to find the best location to invest our project. We also need to interview with the local farmers in order to get their best practices and technology regarding in farming. The scope of this goal, we need to provide a safe, eco-friendly environment. So I know this is a busy slide, so I will try to summarize it. So the project is divided into two projects, the solar urban farm and the cafe. So we want to invest in 2,000 meters square. So the solar urban farm will take 100,500 meters square. So we will buy an existing farm with its corp and everything. We will need 15 to 20 local qualified farmers to redesign it, organize the farm. The second thing is the cafe. Yes, the cafe will be prefabricated, so it will be outsourced. From outsourced, yes. So it will be will take almost two weeks to come, and less than time will take 24 hours to build. I hope I'm clear. The project is not included in this project. The parking area will not be part of this project. Over here, you can see the work breakdown structure of the main activities: the initiating, the planning, the approval, the design and consulting, and the construction and assembly and the equipment, and pre-launching and launching, and its deliverables. Here we create a Gantt chart for the project. So, and it's all, you can see all the activities here. So almost the project will take 7 months, and which means that 29 weeks to complete. Here is this is a stakeholder mapping matrix, and this is the potential the stakeholders and their impact in the project. So mainly the project manager, the Royal Commissioner for Ula, the HR director, the supply chain manager, the 20, or maybe we'll take 15 farmers, and the prefabricated company in the architecture and design agency. Here you can see this is the startup cost. It's just the startup cost, so it may take 3 million approximately. And if you come here to this slide, this is the cost baseline. You can see of the project, how much each activity will cost. It's just an assumption, it's not to make you clear. I will take almost 3,403, and then we need, if you sum it up with this startup cost with the cost of the estimate, we will need approximately 6 million for this project. Here you can see the ROI. So in the second year, we will have a higher ROI, the return of investment. And also I provided in the report, the payback here will be almost 1 year and 4 quarters. This is the potential risk that can be happen. The poor management can lead to loss in financial corruption, the lack of professional expert, the delayed time of suppliers. Here, how we gonna manage the risks? So it will be led by the project managers. So the planning, the risk identification, this is the process, make you clear. The risk analysis, the risk response, implement the risk response, and the risk monitoring and control, and the result of the response. And it will be need to be updated regularly. So to conclusion, the Al Ula has become a booming tourism area in the latest years. The first project of its kind in Saudi, this will be the first project, inshallah, in Saudi Arabia, to summarize as follow. This will providing a new concept of an eco-sustainable urban farm cafe. This will be less burden to the government for the electricity bills, because we are not using a solar system. Will provide a world-class healthy culture experience in urban agricultural. It's really less cost, a higher return investment, as we saw in previous slide. This will contribute to the economic growth. And I think I'm done. Thank you.
Thank you, Rula, for the your innovative and interesting idea. I'd like also to thank you for the your presentation. Now I will leave the floor to our committee members for questions and answer.
دكتور أنا ما بدي أخذ دور غيري. I'm waiting. I responded on the first submittal, and I'm waiting for other colleagues if they wish to.
I have one question only.
Yes.
تفضل دكتور أيمن.
Yeah, just can you elaborate more? How did you calculate the revenue, annual revenue?
Sorry?
The annual revenue, how did you calculate it?
The revenue, the annual.
Your return on investment, RIO. You said by second year you'll break even and start making profit by second year. The question, Ukhtrulla, what assumptions have you made to come to this figure?
So, we become more, so I provided the sales, the report sales. There will be more of the cafe will provide more products. This is one the reason. Also will be more of the awareness of this project will be more. So this is the reason why it's increasing.
Okay, Dr. Majid.
Hey, naam, yes. I have just one question. Did you do any like benchmarking for similar to this project, this technology? Is there any benchmarking you did?
You mean if it's can you explain it more?
Yeah, I mean, did you make any like benchmarking with another cafe? I mean, you compared or you studied to end up with this project?
I saw like some cafes, but I wasn't like having the solar system. So we're just using like the urban farm, the solar system and the urban farm and cafe into one. But I didn't saw like something related to be like and using the solar system.
Okay.
طيب معنا دقيقتان إذا في أحد من الأخوة الأعضاء حابين يتداخلوا معنا. طيب شكرا يا أخت رولا.
Thank you
for your time and effort and wish you all the best إن شاء الله. الآن الأخوة الأفاضل باقي معنا 1 تيم، فإذا تحبوا تكملوا أو ناخذ بريك 10 دقائق للصلاة ونرجع.
ممكن نكمل لو ما في مانع يعني لسه.
نكمل بالنسبة لي أنا نكمل معك.
طيب. Okay. Next team is team 37 from Prince Noura University. Okay. I'm seeing raise your hand. I will promote you to panelist. طيب أنا شايف الأخت بسمة. You can speak now and share your screen.
Okay, but could you please like let Lulu and Amal share their screens, please?
Yeah, I'm working on it now. Okay. You are basically three members?
Actually, we are 4, but one of us cannot like attend for today.
Okay. I think all of you has been promoted now as a panelist. And okay. Can you share your screen now?
I'm trying to share my screen.
إلى الآن ما ظهرت معنا على الشاشة.
ما أدري يمكن في problem ولا something. I'm trying for it. And also my colleagues trying for like sharing their screen as well.
Maybe you need to coordinate among you, because you are using the same link. So one of you need just to share the screen and the rest maybe.
Yeah. We are trying, but none of us like can share their screen.
Okay, let me again. طيب أنا أستأذن الدكاترة الأفاضل لو ناخذ بريك 10 دقائق until we fix this problem. يكون للصلاة.
Okay, no
problem. Thank you.
شكرا، الله يعطيكم العافية. طيب يا أخت بس ما خليكي معايا بس لين we fix the problem.
Yeah, okay.
How about now?
I'm trying to share my screen, but nothing.
طيب, can you leave the meeting, all of you, and just one join the meeting until we fix the screen, and I'll ask the rest can join us. Okay.
Let me see. Maybe this one like it can work. Does it appear to you now?
أعتقد في شيء is loading. Yes, now it's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, that's good.
طيب, excellent. طيب, نحن will resume إن شاء الله in 10 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
دكتور سعيد نحن جاهزين ولا؟
ايوه دكتور ابراهيم جاهزين.
يلا خير ان شاء الله. الاخوان جاهزين؟
Yes, we are ready.
طيب يا اخت بسمة. Let me just again brief you about the roles. You have 15 minutes for the presentation, then we'll give the chance for our board members, committee members to for Q&A. بداية بالله عرف عن نفسك والموضوع الذي تم اختياره وبالتوفيق.
Okay. Hello everyone. Can you hear me first?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So hello everyone. My name is Basma Al-Migran from Team 37. We are students from Princess Noura bint Abdurrahman University. And now my group and I will explain our Hafid project. We choose the topic of the cities in the future. Our group members are Amal Al-Barran, Basma Al-Migran, which is me, and Rawan Al-Gahtani, and Lula Al-Sharhan. First of all, the business case of this project, we arrived to our Hafid project idea after we searched for the problem faced in Saudi Arabia, and we found that most noticeable issue is the lack of waste recycling, where the greenhouse gases and the harmful chemicals are released from rubbish in the landfill areas, and the current way of disposal is burning, which produces harmful and chemical substances that harms the environment and increases the global warming. Also, we found people are facing issues in getting rid of waste in the proper way, and the lack of dedicated containers for each type of waste, such as food, paper, and so on. So we came up with this idea of half of the project, which is creating a way to improve a waste disposal in a way that is less harmful to the environment and the earth by recycling waste, where recycling assists with diminishing the pollution brought by waste. Also, recycling decreases the need for raw materials. It additionally utilizes less energy, therefore safeguarding natural resources for the future. So the solution for this project, first of all, Hafid is a project that aims to solve Saudi Arabia's waste problem in a more efficient way. This project consists of a Hafid application where the discount points collected for the electricity and water bills by linking the Ministry of Municipal and Rural Affairs in Riyadh with the Saudi Electricity Company and the National Water Company. Also, Hafid project contains a smart waste containers and a collective trucks.
سعيد ممكن الطلبة بس يمشوا السلايدز. It's just one slide so far, unless this is.
No, I'm explaining this one. It's a solution that I'm explaining what is in the project. So also the project will contain smart recycling waste containers and improved collective trucks that is separated as sections that contains paper, food, plastic, glass, iron, and other waste. This is the approximate shape of the container for what we would like to manufacture, where the container will be divided into 6 sections, as you can see here. Or sorry, it's 5 sections. There's plastic, paper, glass, iron, and food. And it will include a scanner with artificial intelligence, which, as you can see here, this is the scanner. It will be like when the cover is closing, it will be there's a scan for the garbages inside the container, and then it will identify the trash with that will be thrown in the place, or if it's in the right place or not. And there is a weighted scale here that will be weighted the amount of waste that the people will throw to convert like the weight to a point as to like appearing here as a code, so people can scan it from the Hafid application that we have, to like getting a discount rate in their bills for electricity and water bills. The mechanism of this project is done by placing the waste in the container, and First, placing the waste in the container to be scanned and identified through artificial intelligence, and either accepted to enter or rejected because it's contrary to the type of waste of container. After that, the waste is weighted in scales and the weight is converted into specific points that appears as a code. Users will get the code on the screen, then they will copy it through the Hafid application to get a discount on their water and electricity bill. At the end of the day, the garbage truck will collect the trash from the containers. And finally, the Ministry of Municipal and Rural Affairs in Riyadh will either recycle the trash to reuse it or sold it to companies as a raw materials. So the objectives of this project helps in solving the Saudi's waste disposal problem that have a negative impact on the environment and humans, as it reduces the amount of waste burned and greenhouse gases. Thus reduces the pollution and preserve natural resources such as minerals and woods that limit the global warming. Also, recycling increases economic security by acquiring a new source of income, reducing financial spending, and saving energy. Moreover, this project aims to educate individuals and increase their process. Also, it will provide individuals with a financial benefit and provide the Ministry of Municipal and Rural Affairs with additional income source after selling the recycled or unrecycled materials to the factories. Furthermore, this helps agriculture development projects in the community, such as afforestation initiatives in Saudi Arabia. So in this project, we will need to manufacturing a waste containers and containers program with artificial intelligence, improved waste trucks, purchasing a goods such as scanner, camera, weighted scale, and screen. Also, we need to develop a Hafid application and link it to the national and water electricity companies and take approval to initiate this project.
يا أخت بسمة لو تسمحي لي الآن تقريبا نصف الوقت عدى، فيا ليت you speed up أو at least إنك تبدأ في موضوع الimplementation والproject plan. We'd like to see that area.
Yeah, okay. So now my friend Lulu will continue to explain the rest of the project.
Hello everyone, my name is Lulu Sharhan. So project methodology. In our project report, we followed project management book of knowledge and we did our research to make the initiating and planning phase of the project, including the project ignition, project charter, the project management plan that describes how we will implement, mentor and control of the project and its containers, and it contains the project lifecycle and all subsidiary management plans. In the scope management plan, we developed a detailed scope statement defining that constitutes a scope change, how the scope changes will be and changes will be managed, and defining how the deliverables will be accepted. In the requirement management plan, which defined how requirement activities will be carried out throughout the project, such as collection, analysis, categories, documentation, prioritization, requirements, matrix, traceability, validation, and configuration. And in the assumptions and constraints, we developed assumptions and constraints log that describes assumptions are progressively developed and validated through the project. Activity list, we defined the activity necessary to complete the project work. And the milestone list, we defined all the project milestones and described the nature of each one. And the cost management plan, we have determined how to properly estimate and control all the project costs and the developed project cost estimate. And the quality management plan, we with it we defined the approach to quality assurance, quality control, and quality improvement, and also developed quality matrices. Also, we discussed the rules and responsibilities, the communication management plan, and the procurement management plan. We determined how the project team obtained goods and services by specifying the types of contracts, purchasing restrictions, and insurance requirements. And the change management plan, where we defined in detail how to manage change in the project. Next slide, please. So So here we can see the stakeholder management plan, where we identified the stakeholders for our project, such as the project sponsor, owner, manager, suppliers, IT experts, and users, and so on. Also, we expressed rules of each stakeholders, the requirement for communicating with them, and approaches to effectively manage stakeholders' engagement. Of course, this photo doesn't contain all the stakeholders. We couldn't fit it all in. It will take time. And next slide, please. Here we can see the risk management plan. We have identified the risk management methodology, risk categories, and emergency protocols, and identified all risk expected to occur in the project, the likelihood and impact of each risk, and how we will handle it. Of course, we have three risk categories. The operational risk, like if the supplier delayed providing materials. Second, the financial risk, if the budget provided by the ministry is insufficient or enough, and if that happened, that will take us also an extra time for us to complete this project. Then third, the environmental risk, the existence of pandemics that cause social paralysis, such as COVID-19, result in several risks, such as lack of resources, high cost, and delay in project delivery. Then we created a work breakdown structure and use it to analyze all the project work, as what you can see here. The schedule management, next slide, please. Yes, the schedule management plan we used, by using it, we have determined how the project schedule will be developed, mentored, and controlled. Next slide. Here we can see the network diagram. As what you can see, it is the visual display of the relationship between the schedule elements. Next slide. So the research finding, after researching and planning for the project, we came up with these outcomes. First, it will cost us 300 million Saudi riyals to create 3,000 containers and 51 collective trucks. First, we will implement this project in the north of Riyadh in 17 neighborhoods. Then we will expand it by implementing it in all Riyadh's neighborhoods. Second, we found that most of the stakeholders have high influence and high or moderate interest in the project, and most of them have high commitment to the project. Third, we need to design and develop the Hafid application, manufacturing smart trucks and containers, also establishing a partnership with the National Water Company and the Saudi Electricity Company. Fourth, we describe the risk management methodology by splitting it into 4 phases of identification, assessment, containment, and control. Also, there are fifth, also we describe the quality planning approach and half of the project, as it is to classify the quality measures related to the project and determine how to reach them. And in order to find the quality, we will follow the 3 processes: identifying, auditing, controlling, and monitoring, using some tools and techniques such as cost benefit analysis and brainstorming. Next slide, please. We use the critical path method as our schedule methodology, so we can schedule a set of the project activities to determine when each activity can start and finish. We found that the project will take 9 months to be completed, and it will start on the 1st of January 2021, with establishing the partnership between Ministry of the MOMRA in Riyadh and the National Water Company and the Saudi Electricity Company. Then on the 10th of January, we will start developing the application, and on 10th of March, we will start designing and developing the containers. Then on the 20th of July, we will start distributing the containers, and finally on 15th of September, we will improve and design the smart waste collection trucks, and the project will be completely finished. And in in the hands of the customers in the 1st of October. So the project will have 4 significant outcomes, including the establishing a partnership for sponsoring the project, creating a app, and manufacturing a small recycling container, and finally improving the waste collection tracks. This was our half of the project. We hope that you have enjoyed it. Thank you for listening, and we are ready to answer your questions.
Thank you, team 37, for the excellent presentation. Now we'll leave the floor for our award committee for Q&A session. And I have a question here to the team, if you allow me. The estimated budget, 300 million. Basically, how did you arrive to this figure? And is this only dedicated for the first stage, or it will be spent on multi-stages?
Actually, this is a cost for most all of the project, where the project will have 3,000 containers and 51 trucks, where each container will cost us like 88,000 real, because it has a artificial intelligence, a scanner, camera, and so on. It has a lot of something that, like, things that is costs. We choose choosing why it's 33,000 containers, because the north of Riyadh has 17th neighborhoods, and the space for this neighborhood is 425 kilometers squared, and we will place like between each container and the other is 35 meters squared between each, like 2 containers. So it's really like having a space between them. This is why we chose this specific number for the containers. And for trucks, there will be three trucks for each neighborhood to like collecting these trash. And this is like 300 million is the total for the project, for like manufacturing, testing, developing, also for creating the application, and for the payment for the staff and for the salaries also. So this must be the like the total budget for the project.
Is it possible for us to ask questions?
It's our turn.
Sorry.
دكتور سعيد، في أحد من الإخوان ولا can I just okay. Well, first of all,
تفضل دكتور إبراهيم. عفوا.
Okay. Well, first of all, the team of Princess Noura, well done. Thank you very much. Good work, good scope. It's more than a feasibility study rather than a business case. When we read your proposal, it's very much in depth. But I was wondering why you had to go to 50 pages to present this proposal. I mean, one of the art of writing papers is actually to be able to condense your ideas into 20-22 pages or maximum 30, as was a condition in the submittals format. You went into a great depth into defining a number of areas, which is beyond the project management, which is a plus actually. But yani, in the future, we have to comply fully with the requirements of the whatever the case here, competition or proposal writing or something. And this is, as I said, it takes challenge and a lot of in-depth thinking to be able to summarize and be more concise. We like very much what you discussed in this third topic, which is the city future of the cities, and you seem to have a good overall understanding of waste management and waste to energy, which is very much into the sustainable drive within, not only within the KSA, but it's a global attention worldwide. I think my colleague discussed the issue of budget. On your team structure, page 6, as we know, project management, when you followed the same matrix and the phases of the project management, and this is the core of this assignment. I think your team structure was a bit on the low side. You're talking about a number of tasks here and objectives, and to just have a project manager and project sponsor and designer, we have to get into more manufacturing and IT. You need the artificial intelligence and the IT should be part of the team structure that you should have maybe considered in your team structure. Training, I wish to have seen some training under initiation when you form the team and you have the expertise required, and then you start training. You have to, the community, the residents, they have to be trained how to go to the containers and how to do the sorting, color coding, which is also universally accepted methodology. And last thing is, I wish you covered the waste after we recycle and whether we use incinerator or incinerators or we use any other technique to produce power or for fertilizing, there's always waste and we have to get rid of this brine and we have to manage that as well. That would have been something I wish you touched on, but overall, excellent work, very nice, well done, well in depth. But I think your team structure needs to be reconsidered. And the last phase of waste management, when you, the residue, whatever is left over from incinerating and from recycling, how to go to landfill and treat those in an environmentally friendly manner.
Can I respond to what you said?
Yes, please, go ahead.
Yeah, so about what you said about the for like motivating people and educating them how to like using the application and how to use or deal with this new idea, because it will change their behavior and like throwing their trust. So the government will be responsible for that. They will be like do like advertisement for that. They will educating them. They will like provide some brochures for like educating people how to use this application. So as you can see now, most people use Tawakkalna application. So how the government separated this idea between people or like share it with people, like it's like how can I say it? They educated people how to use this application with the pandemic. Yeah, convince people to use this application during the pandemic. So as the same way, the government also will convince people to like using this application and to deal with the new idea that will be implemented in Saudi Arabia. First of all, we will start in the north of Riyadh, in the 17th neighborhoods, to test like this project and see if it will be working in the proper way, and how the people will accept it, and like doing studies also for that. After that, we will be implemented for it in all of the neighborhoods in Riyadh. Then will be expanded in the Saudi for all of the Saudi Arabia. So this is our project idea. And about the IT experts, the IT experts will include the programmers, the one who will be like doing the programs and for all the containers, for like how to transfer the points, the weight, to as a point and then as a code. How the artificial intelligence will be working in the container. They will be like responsible for all the technical things in this project, inside the container, in the application, and all of the things. So I hope that is clear for you now. But if you need anything more to explain it, I'm here.
Thank you.
No,
Team
thank you.
27.
Thank you. Time wouldn't allow. Waste management, the last phase of waste management, yani it would be nice to do some more work on that. But as I said, overall, it's very much in depth, and it is more of a business case feasibility study rather than a small proposal for our event. Well done, girls.
Thank you, Dr. Ibrahim, for your enlightening comments. And unfortunately, I have to stop it here. Thank you, Team 37, and wish you all the best. I think Team 17 with us. Team 17, yes, Dujwana, can you raise your hand? Okay, I will promote you as a panelist. Okay, can you speak now?
Yes, I can.
Okay, now I give you the control. You can share your screen.
From where do I share the screen? Okay, I found it.
Okay. Right, you have 15 minutes, Dr. Joanna, for the presentation, then 5 minutes for Q&A. Please start with introducing yourself and your team and the topic you have chosen. And good luck. Team 17, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Still, your screen is not.
No.
Okay, now it's okay.
Can I add something until they are like ready for their presentation?
Sorry, you want?
I want to add something until they are ready for their presentation, if I can.
Okay, please go ahead.
So I don't know who asked me about what the government will do after the recycling these products. The government will recycle this product, okay, then they will be like use it in another things as a raw materials. They want to like producing another new products, or either like sell it to a new to the factories, so the factories can use it in producing their own products. So this is will will bring a new income for the government. So that's why the recycled will be like helping the government itself, either for like a new source for income, or like producing its own like products and services. Products for like after recycling. So that's it.
Okay, thank you for your comment. Now, if you are ready, please start because we don't have time.
Okay, yes, we're ready. Good afternoon. So our topic today is about transformation of project management in the industry 4.0. Okay, so my friend will continue.
Okay, so a significant change in the industrial market has occurred, which is referred to as the fourth generation of scientific revolution, also known as Industry 4.0. Project managers need to adapt to that change and diversify their portfolio in order to fit in with the change.
So basically, the most supreme approach used in supervising is by examining features for like worker leadership to oversee groups in a very flexible climate. And after all, the conversation is mostly found during the appearance of technologies for example, let's say big data. And we also found out that many skilled specialists have made the idea of worker leadership and the relation of styles leadership because the practices are of work.
Okay, so the historical overview. So for the start, during 1760 to 1840. Can you hear me?
Okay, okay.
In order to build this, we're going to, Jiran is going to share with you how to.
Okay, so during the 1760 to 1840, there was a dynamic shift. It was the first industrial revolution and it was marked by the construction of railways and the invention of the steam engine. So this period caused mechanical production in the late 19th century and the early 20th century. The key pioneer of this era was called Henry Ford, who helps in the assembly line, thus leading to the development of the automotive industry. The introduction of electricity served as a central point of the Industrial Revolution. And during the 1960s, it was the most instrumental period in the global industry. The development of semiconductors and mainframe computers in the 1960s was followed by the generation of personal computers in the 1970s and 1980s. And currently, the industry is undergoing a fourth industrial revolution. Scientific experts and industrial figureheads are terming it as the era of digitization.
Okay, so for the research methodology, an overview of the Industrial Revolution 4.0 was done through qualitative, which is basically collection of descriptions, figures, and statistical analysis. The importance of this study, due to the digitization and automation, the job description will now differ. The roles of project management were mainly focused on team building and organizing individuals to function cooperatively, but now they differ. Now my friend will continue.
Yes, team 17.
I think Reem is raising her hand. She's not added as a presenter as well. She's the one that will be presenting.
طيب, let me promote her to panelist.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Hello.
طيب.
Hello, everyone. My name is Reem Hanna. The emerging technology, the industrial Internet of Thinking, IIoT, has integrated technological advancement in the realm of the information across this industrial scale. This system serves to enable rapid industrial profilations. This system serves to enable rapid industrial and market development. Information ensured and stored in cloud, which the spread useful data to various analytical platforms. This facilitates the uniformity and of what this facilitates. Yes, this facilitates industrial. Sorry, I have the problem. 1 minute. Okay.
Okay. After that.
This facilitates uniformity of the industry development in K sphere as the significant as the excuse me, I think I'm very confused. Can again because I don't know what to do. أحس مرة لخبطتكم.
في مشكلة في الصوت ظاهر عندكم الاتصال.
طيب. Again, I will repeat again. I think the better.
Okay. تفضلي.
طيب. Emerging technology. This industry, internet thinking, IIoT has integrated technology advancements. This system serves to enable rapid industrial and market development Information is shared and stored in the cloud, which then spread useful data to various
Yeah, we can hear you. Please carry on. We can hear you. Yes.
You can hear now?
Yes, we are.
Okay, I lose some. Platform, the availability of the big data enable multiple industrial and institutional factor. This facilitates the uniformity of industrial development in sphere as a significant revaluational taking place. Based on this matrix, there have been a development of intelligent systems that function in a derivative manner. Done.
So basically, in order to achieve the most positive and realistic output for the industrial growth, we came out with a solution that is way more efficient and better to use as the artificial intelligence. It is also known as the AI because it will decode the data more efficiently. And it has a lot of advantages, actually, which such as it helps the factories and manufacturers speed towards.
أخترين في مشكلة في الاتصال من عندك. Your voice is cutting off. أخترين الصوت مش واضح.
We can't hear.
Also, it's been
ما نسمعك الصوت.
in industries.
يا أخترين لو تطلعي أحسن أو تحاول تشبكي مرة ثانية تتصلي من جديد. نعم ما نسمع كلام. الصوت يقطع.
Can anyone from summarize your project? Because of the connection, just summarize. Anyone from the team.
Are you talking to us, our team here, or?
No, for the students.
I don't know.
Or team 17. If anyone can just summarize.
Can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, you have to speed up, maybe get to the points. You explain the beauty of the AI and how effective it is. Can we see how you put it in practice? What's your proposal and how you want to go about it? You really have few minutes left.
يبدو في مشكلة في الاتصال عندهم يا دكتور إبراهيم.
It's very unfortunate يعني بس what can we do
Yeah, we can skip maybe to the next team and
هم آخر تيم هذول عادة، لكن ممكن إذا كان يرجعوا يتصلوا من جديد يطلعوا الميتنج ويتصلوا.
يعني can they hear us? I wonder if they can hear us. لأنه they're a team of 3 or 4.
Yes,
maybe
we can hear you, but I was talking, you said you cannot hear me.
Can you please, يعني, if you could focus, zoom in into your proposal and how you want to go about it using the tools and principles of PM. If you just do that in a couple of minutes, because we already read your paper. If you could zoom in into the cream of your paper, just for the interest of time, لأنه we have other entries right behind you.
والله ما اظنهم سمعوك يا دكتور، شكلهم ما سمعوا.
بس كأني سمعت تقول we hear you. طيب وش السوات يا دكتور؟ وش نسوي؟
اكتبوا مع الشات يمكن قول لهم انه ما نسمعكم وحلا.
ممكن skip for myself خلاص يعني.
بس احنا we read their paper. We have seen.
We evaluated some of their presentation and we know now by now.
Okay. طيب, that's the last presentation we have actually. Thank you all for your time and effort, and really have been enjoying والله يعني most of the topics here, and they are brilliant and innovative, and also the مداخلات الأخوة أعضاء لجنة التحكيم. وإن شاء الله نتمنى كل التوفيق للأخوة المشاركين والأخوات المشاركات، واللي ما حالفهم الحظ إن شاء الله نحن نوعدهم إنه هذه it's not the end of it. إن شاء الله في حتكون في initiative ثانية قادمة، وعلى قولهم القادم أجمل. نستودعكم الله ونراكم إن شاء الله في مرات قادمة أخرى. السلام عليكم.
شكرا.
يعطيكم العافية. شكرا جميعا.
شكرا لكم جميعا.
So we will to conclude. We have, I think there is one more session to conclude and propose the top 3 places ولا لا يا دكتور؟
والله دكتور إبراهيم أنا أقترح عليكم إن شاء الله حنسوي closed meeting مع اللجنة we'll do the evaluation jointly.
طيب. Thank you for your time and thank you for organizing this.
Sorry, Dr. Ibrahim.
Thank you very much for your time and effort and the organizing. It was really, we learned a lot from this. Very professional, very high level. And it was also an opportunity to meet you and the other colleagues. And I seriously hope and sincerely hope we get to see you in person and the rest of the team, inshallah, in few days to come.
Inshallah. Thank you, Dr.
Inshallah.
It's a pleasure.
الله يعطيكم العافية جميعا. سعيد والله بالتواصل معكم.
شكرا لكم جميعا وشكرا لك دكتور سعيد.
شكرا دكتور إبراهيم. شكرا جميع لكم. بارك الله فيك.
شكرا.
مع السلامة.
تصبحون على خير.